Bakersfield.com.
Welcome back to Bvarsity Live. Zach and Trevor here with you in the downtown TBC Media Studios. Just to wrap things up, it's been a busy couple of weeks, and
So I like to kind of gauge how many miles I'm on each tank of gas because I've had the new car for about 4 months. How many miles I put on it Tuesday and Wednesday?
Well, let's see. Tuesday,
Visalia.
You were in Visalia, a mile and a half away from Rawhide Stadium, right?
Shut up.
Which you only tweeted about 6 times, and then Wednesday you were in Clovis. So we're looking at about 320 miles.
No, it's 425.
Okay. Well, my math was bad, but anyway, the point is, it's been a busy couple of weeks.
It's tiring. I'm exhausted, but it's so much fun.
We do Valley Track. We've done the section baseball and softball playoffs, which are wrapping up again. Saturday, Independence softball playing
2:00. They just amended it today.
Oh, they changed it to 2 p.m. on Saturday, and they play against Hanford, which
number 2
took it to Taft. So look out.
Yeah, they took it to Taft,
but
you look at Independence has already beat the 1 and the 4 seed.
That's true.
Just to get here.
That is true. So Independence riding high. In fact, if you look at those softball finals, Kern County did not have any team seated in the top 2, and every single division is number 1 versus number 2, except for that one, where Independence took out the number 1 Liberty Madera, and then they took out the number 4 in Tehachapi to get to the championship. So they're looking to complete that run. And then in baseball, which has been shifted again to Monday and Tuesday of next week, so we got games on Memorial Day. Imagine that, which is a terrible idea in my book, but that's how they've sort of had to do it because the Visalia Rawhide, the Cal League team, is in town this weekend, and so the ballpark won't be available until Monday.
So put it at a different facility.
That's a discussion for another time because we could go on for a long time about that, but the point is it is Monday and Tuesday at Rawhide Park in Visalia, and on Monday you've got the Division II game between Tehachapi and Redwood.
At 8 p.m.
Redwood will be playing basically as the hometown team there. And that's the late game on Monday at 8 p.m. Before that, you have Cesar Chavez is playing against CVC in a rematch of last year. And you also have...
That's it for us.
Am I missing one? Is it just those two? That's
no,
just
and then
those
Tuesday
two.
It's Sierra
and then Tuesday,
versus...
Kern Valley playing Sierra at 4:30.
4 o'clock in the D6.
On Tuesday. So, anyway...
So we got
that's baseball and softball wrapping up. Swimming's done.
Yep.
Tennis is done, and golf as of today is done.
Yep. So 3 locals in the SoCal Regional Finals at Brookside down in Pasadena. Deer Patel from Stockdale was the best of the 3. It was 3 over par 75. Warren Miller, senior out of Liberty, was a 4 over par 76. And Michael Chang out of Stockdale, 5 over par 77. Tough course, but they all finished it out for the season. Chang, obviously the area champ, and then took 2nd overall Monday in the Central Section Championships with a 68 over Buena Vista. Warren Miller, who shot a 68 himself at the Team Valley Championship up at Valley Oaks a couple weeks ago, had the best overall par average. He was, I think, right at a 72 even par all season long. So, all 3 of those guys finishing out the season very well.
Yeah, and that's so golf's over. And we should mention in tennis, congratulations, Garces Jr., Dylan Simonson, the section singles champion. Just an unbelievable high school tennis match, beating Daley Minert of Clovis North in 3 sets in the
really
singles
jealous.
Final.
I mean, I love the fact that I was at Section Masters because there was a lot of great things going on at Buchanan that night, but that sounded like
It was an absolute. I mean, Lewis overuses the word epic, but this tennis match was epic. I mean, it was back and forth. Finally, Daley Minert had some cramp problems late, and that cost him, I think, the championship because the time the cramps popped up, he had just broken Simonson's serve to go up 5-4 in the 3rd set and was serving for the match. And if you haven't watched Daley Minert play, he's 6'4" and has a huge serve. It's like watching Andy Roddick in his prime. Mm-hmm. I mean, he just bombs serves to the point where half of them the guys aren't getting to. And he cramped up in that game, and it cost him that game, and he seemed to move a little bit better after that, but Simonson was able to beat him in a 3rd set tiebreak, win the section title, bring it back to Bakersfield for Garces. First time in several years it's been in Bakersfield, actually. Right. Maybe since Jeremy Kiros. I'm trying to think if DJ Johnson was runner-up a couple of times. Caleb Johnson was runner-up once, but I think this is the first champion we've had since maybe Jeremy Quiros from Stockdale back in 2009. So congratulations to Dylan. And then that leaves, as we said, softball, Independence on Saturday, baseball Monday and Tuesday, and then state track. And you have some news from that. We have 37 local athletes.
37 local athletes, 18 on the boys' side, 19 on the girls' side. We also have 5 that have been added as alternates on the boys' side. Ramon Flores out of Ridgeview, who took 4th in the 800, has been moved up because Eduardo Herrera is going to concentrate in the mile, who took 2nd in the 800 behind Curtis Threckeld. So that's 3 local kids going in the 800, Curtis Threckeld, Peter Handy, and Ramon Flores. On the girls' side, Jamie Penner is an alternate in the girls' 400 from Garces. Shelby Rogers out of Liberty in the 800. Freshman Didi Salcido out of McFarland, who took 4th overall. She's an alternate. And then also Aisha Ham makes it 3 Stockdale 100 hurdlers with the Wilson sisters as well.
That's cool.
Moving on to states.
Now, when you say 37, is that 37 different kids or 37 different events?
Kids.
Different kids, so more events than that.
Yeah, when you look at
multi-events,
I had it here. I think we have 5 different athletes. Ben Hibbert from Frontier, he's in two events, in the 110 hurdles and the 1600 relay. Dennis Hicks is in both horizontal jumps from Liberty on the girls' side. And Leah Wilson, sophomore, 3 events.
Wow.
The 100 hurdles and the 400 relay. Fallon Wilson.
Morgan Hill-esque.
Yeah. Fallon Wilson in the 100 hurdles and the 400 relay with her sister. And then Michaela Romanini, who won the 800 title, is also in the BHS girls 1600 relay. So we've got 5 in multiple events. And then obviously another 32 competing throughout all day Friday. And then hopefully, a good.
Some in the finals on Saturday.
Hopefully some of them,
so
good majority.
An absolute, I'm sorry to cut you off, an absolute banner year, I think, for Kern County in track and field, Trevor.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it can be said any other way.
I thought last year when we had 32 was the tops, but then they've done it once again with 37. And when you think about, the kids that have, and I use the word kids, and these are young adults. They're phenomenal. They are. They are. When you look at like Curtis Threckeld, he's a medal favorite in the 800. You look at Ben Hibbert in the 110 hurdles. Dennis Hicks, Lawrence
White and Dennis Hicks,
and Felix Cooper Adamo, man, that kid probably gets more out of his body than anybody else physically that I've ever seen.
And I think it's important to remember, to your point, I mean, these guys look like men and women because they train like that, and some of them are physically gifted, and they come in here and they're just imposing and impressive. They're still kids, and that's, to me, mentally for an 18-year-old or 16-year-old in some cases kid, and that's what they are, to go through the pressure, to put themselves through the training, and to get to this level is truly special. And the state meet, look, if you have an opportunity to drive up to Clovis on Friday or Saturday of next week, you got to do it. To see these kids, you get to see Michael Norman, Vista Marietta run in the 100, 200, 400. That kid is he's an Olympic style.
If you're not going up there
athlete.
just to watch him, then you're not a track and field fan.
Because
he's going to be an Olympian. He could be an Olympian in
Absolutely.
August.
He could go from the CIF state championships in June to Rio de Janeiro for the Olympic Games in August.
There is no hyperbole. This kid, this guy, Michael Norman, is a world-class athlete right now as a high school senior.
So it's worth the price of admission and the drive up there if you get a chance to do it. Otherwise, we're going to have you covered on Bvarsity, especially in the local end.
You're darn
we will be there all weekend.
I got one more note. 4 South High boys soccer players signing at 3:30 this afternoon, all going to San Francisco State.
And so awesome that those 4 kids get to stick together, and
they get to stick together.
They'll be Dons, as Andy Bogart says, the dandy Dons of San Francisco.
Is it Miles Burdett?
Oh no, I'm sorry, that's USF. We're going to San Francisco State.
Miles Burdett's going there too from Centennial as well, isn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Ruben Gomez, Jesus Barajas, and then our last two boys soccer players of the year, Dennis Rivas and Jeff Escobar, both moving on. All 4 of them going together. Fitting that what they've been able to do the last 3 years that concluded with them beating Granada Hills for the D2 SoCal state title. Fitting for them to all have this moment this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely, and congratulations to them. We will be back one more week on Bvarsity. Next Thursday, then we're going to take our little summer break, and we will then have state track, and then it'll be kind of time for a little bit of a breather from prep sports, which is sad, but it's also needed, I think, for the athletes and the coaches and for us too. For our producer, John Farrand, I appreciate all our guests coming in again. Tatchby Baseball, Independent Softball, and Kyle Shiloh, the new boys basketball coach at Bakersfield Christian. That's Trevor Horn. I'm Zach Ewing. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Looking deep down the left side, Mendeville into the end zone, touchdown! Down the sideline, still 40, 20 to the house.
And the players streaming from the sideline to celebrate with 17